They told me there'd be palm trees. I didn't believe them, but that's what they told me. They told me I'd be able to see them from the plane. Oh, I know they have palm trees in Southern California. I mean, I'm not a complete moron. I've watched 90210 and everything. But I was moving to Northern California. I didn't expect to see palm trees in Northern California. Not after my mom told me not to give away all my sweaters. Oh no, my mom had said. You'll need them. Your coats too. It can get cold there. Not as cold as New York maybe, but pretty chilly. Which is why I wore my black leather motorcycle jacket on the plane. I could have shipped it, I guess, with the rest of my stuff, but it kind of made me feel better to wear it. So there I was, sitting on the plane in a black leather motorcycle jacket, seeing these palm trees through the window as we landed, and I thought, great. Black leather and palm trees. Already I'm fitting in. Just like I knew I would. Not. My mom isn't particularly fond of my leather jacket, but I swear I didn't wear it to make her mad or anything. I'm not resentful of the fact that she decided to marry a guy who lives 3,000 miles away, forcing me to leave school in the middle of my sophomore year, abandon the best, and pretty much only, friend I've ever had since kindergarten. Leave the city I've been living in for all of my 16 years. Oh no, I'm not a bit resentful. The thing is, I really do like Andy, my new stepdad. He's good for my mom. He makes her happy, and he's very nice to me. It's just this moving to California thing that bugs me. Oh, and did I mention Andy's 3 other kids? They were all there to greet me when I got off the plane. My mom, Andy, and Andy's 3 sons. Sleepy, Dopey, and Doc, I call them. They're my new stepbrothers. Susie! Even if I hadn't heard my mom squeal my name as I walked through the gate, I wouldn't have missed them. My new family. Andy was making his 2 youngest boys hold up this big sign that said, "Welcome home, Susannah." Everybody getting off the flight was walking by it, going, "Aw, look how cute," to their travel companions and smiling at me in this sickening way. Oh yeah, I'm fitting in. I'm fitting in just great. Okay, I said, walking up to my new family. You can put the sign down now. But my mom was too busy hugging me to pay any attention. "Oh, Susie," she kept saying. I hate when anybody but my mom calls me Susie, so I shot the boys this mean look over her shoulder just in case they're getting any big ideas. They just kept grinning at me from over that stupid sign. Dopey because he's too dumb to know any better. Doc because, well, I guess because he might have been glad to see me. Doc's weird that way. Sleepy, the oldest, just stood there looking, well, sleepy. "How was your flight, kiddo?" Andy took my bag off my shoulder and put it on his own. He seemed surprised by how heavy it was and went, "Whoa, what you got in there anyways? You know it's a felony to smuggle New York City fire hydrants across state lines." I smiled at him. Andy's this really big goof, but he's a nice big goof. He wouldn't have had the slightest idea what constitutes a felony in the state of New York since he's only been there like 5 times, which was, incidentally, exactly how many visits it took him to convince my mother to marry him. "It's not a fire hydrant," I said. "It's a parking meter. And I have 4 more bags." 4? Andy pretended he was shocked. "What do you think you're doing, moving in or something?" Did I mention that Andy thinks he's a comedian? He's not. He's a carpenter. Suze, Doc said all enthusiastically. "Suze, did you notice that when we were landing, the tail of the plane kicked up a little? That was from an updraft. It's caused when a mass moving at a considerable rate of speed encounters a counterblowing wind velocity of equal or greater strength." Doc, Andy's youngest kid, is 12, but he's going on about 40. He spent almost the entire wedding reception telling me about the alien cattle mutilation and how Area 51 is just this big cover-up by the American government which doesn't want us to know that we are not alone. "Oh, Susie," my mom kept saying, "I'm so glad you're here. You're just going to love the house. It just didn't feel like home at first, but now that you're here, oh, I can't wait until you've seen your room. Andy's fixed it up so nice." Andy and my mom spent weeks before they got married looking for a house big enough for all 4 kids to have their own rooms. They finally settled on this huge house in the hills of Carmel, which they'd only been able to afford because they bought it in this completely wretched state, and then this construction company Andy does a lot of work for fixed it up at this big discount rate. My mom had been going on for days about my room, which she keeps swearing is the nicest one in the house. "The view," she kept saying. "An ocean view from the big bay window in your room. Oh, Suze, you're going to love it." I was sure I was going to love it. About as much as I was going to love giving up bagels for alfalfa sprouts and the subway for surfing and all that sort of stuff. For some reason, Dopey opened his mouth and went, "Do you like the sign?" in that stupid voice of his. I can't believe he's my age. He's on the school wrestling team, though, so what can you expect? All he ever thinks about, from what I can tell when I had to sit next to him at the wedding reception, I had to sit between him and Doc, so you can imagine how the conversation just flowed, is chokeholds and bodybuilding and protein shakes. Yeah, great sign, I said, yanking out of his meaty hands and holding it so the lettering faced the floor. Can we go? I want to pick up my bags before someone else does. Oh, right, my mom said. She gave me one last hug. Oh, I'm just so glad to see you. You look so great. And then even though you could tell she didn't want to say it, she went ahead and said it anyway in a low voice so no one else could hear. I thought I've talked to you before about that jacket, Suze, and I thought you were going to throw those jeans away. I was wearing my oldest jeans, the ones with the holes in the knees. They went really well with my black silk tee and zip-up ankle boots. The jeans and boots, coupled with my black leather motorcycle jacket and my Army Navy surplus shoulder bag, made me look like a teen runaway in a made-for-TV movie.